Hello, everybody. Give me a second while I get everything assembled. Apologies, it will just be me running things today. So, um, give me a second to make sure everything's working. Be me running things today. So, um, okay. All right. Looks like we're good. All right. We'll just do me big and the small. Okay. Welcome in, everybody. This is N, head of community at Livepeer. Pronouns are they, them. And welcome to Fireside, the weekly event where we talk about all the high impact things happening in the ecosystem. So, first up, please join the community. Our Discord is where everything happens. So, scan this QR code and jump on in, and you can start to engage with all the fun stuff that you'll be seeing here today. Also, we have a real-time video AI community that we're building and a product beside that called Daydream. So feel free to scan this QR code and test out the product and also jump into the community and help us build the future of real-time video AI. All right, contents. Let me just make this a little bigger. Contents, will be doing an update from Livepeer Foundation with Rich. Then we'll be doing an agent SP spotlight from Define. And then finally, we'll be doing a harmonic SPE spotlight from Nick. Alrighty, let's welcome Rich to the stage. Welcome, Rich.
Hello, hello. How are we doing?
I am doing well. How are you doing today?
Very, very good. Excited to share a bit more about
Awesome.
the advisory board process. So,
all right, well, I will drop off the stage and take it away and just say next slide, and I'll move to the next slide.
fantastic. We will go very, very fast through this. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rich. I lead growth and strategy at the Livepeer Foundation. And you were right on the click. Let's jump straight in. So, what is the Livepeer Foundation? Well, our mission is to steward the vision, ecosystem growth, and core development of the Livepeer project. We really are trying to be a vehicle for ecosystem participation to ensure that as many ecosystem participants, different community stakeholders get involved in the future of the Livepeer project. Next slide. And advisory boards are really an extension of the Livepeer Foundation and a bridge to the community. So advisory boards are small domain-specific groups consisting of Livepeer core contributors representing different parts of the Livepeer ecosystem. This is one of the first initiatives that the Livepeer Foundation has, and it follows this 5-part process of forming advisory boards, surveying the community, giving recommendations on a tactical and strategic level, and screening new contributors and existing contributors to match them towards those opportunities, and then advising them on an ongoing basis. And the foundation facilitates this advisory board life cycle over a 6-month period. And I'm very excited to say that, well, next slide. Yeah, okay, we're a mechanism to provide a clear pathway for ecosystem stakeholders to participate in the strategy setting process. Next slide. And we are actually nearing the end of the recommendation process. This is slightly outdated. We pushed everything back a month just to make sure that we included everything. And the advisory boards have been sitting for the last 4 to 5 weeks. And we're in the final stage of the recommendation phase, and super excited to share more about the growth and network advisory boards that have been working on a go-to-market plan. And the recommendations will actually be, the tactical recommendations for the next 6 months will be published early next week. Next slide. But as I said, one of the most important conversations that's been happening that we've had over the last weeks, the growth and the network advisory boards have gotten together to really align on the core technical go-to-market strategy for the Livepeer project as a whole. And we've really focused on 2 main categories. First of all, network opportunities for the core of the Livepeer network and the protocol, and ecosystem opportunities where entrepreneurial and experimental builders can come in and look at new use cases that the Livepeer project is uniquely positioned to tackle. So let's hop in and have a look at these network opportunities first. And forgive me if it's a little bit small. Oh, perfect. So the network opportunities are really core network capabilities that Livepeer can strengthen to unlock and scale ecosystem growth. And we've really highlighted three core opportunities. First of all, composable infra for real-time video AI. A big bet has been since the Cascade vision that was published by Doug, the founder and CEO of Livepeer Inc. a couple of now 6 months ago. That vision was really honing in on real-time video AI as being a core part of the future of Livepeer, and composable infrastructure is what Livepeer has been amazing at, and we're really focusing on that real-time video AI bet. Secondly, streaming and model experimentation. Obviously, there are some amazing platforms out there, such as Hugging Face or Civitai, which have been amazing for model experimentation. And where we're really seeing a unique opportunity is for Livepeer to be one of the center points, the Schelling points for streaming model experimentation. So anyone who wants to experiment with real-time video AI and applying AI inference models to live streams. And then finally, model distribution. So ensuring that we're really that as a community, that developers, builders can release new real-time models, and ensuring that they can reach developers in one central frictionless place. And with that, that covers the network opportunities. We'll be publishing something, so don't worry if you don't get it all. We'll be going into a bit more detail. And if we look at those network opportunities, we really have them as a way of enabling what we're calling ecosystem opportunities. These are demand-generating use cases that are uniquely enabled by the Livepeer network. And we've highlighted 4, which core entities in the ecosystem, both existing and new, can look to tackle. And the Livepeer Foundation, with the help of the on-chain treasury, is really going to try and enable and fund. So the first one is looking at real-time AI video analysis. So ensuring that there is there's understanding of real-time AI video through things like content moderation, real-time sports analysis, video summarization, all in real time. So this requires very low latency and distributed compute. And this is obviously what the Livepeer network is uniquely positioned to do. Second is real-time generative video experiences. So a core strength of the Livepeer network is video compute at scale, and ensuring that there's video and audio inputs which are manipulated real time. And this is classic applications could be this around live visual remixing for DJs, real-time style transfer, interactive storytelling, and really important is this new agent architecture that is coming out. How do we visualize and interact with agents and other video experiences? Third one is open video infrastructure for decentralized social. So we've saw the launch of the base app last week, which was actually streamed or partially streamed by UFO and which is built on the Livepeer network. And what we're really excited about is at the foundation is funding initiatives which look at video primitives and enable these new creator-owned and fully decentralized video streaming platforms that enable new ways for creators to monetize and own their own content. We've got some awesome teams already working on this, and we would like to fund new experiments in this area to have new video primitives across decentralized social as a whole. And then finally, AI-powered video agents as economic actors. So what's key here is that obviously there are different elements to interacting with an AI agent, but what you can imagine is actually what we're heading to is visualized AI agents being their own economic actors, i.e. they can operate independently and ensure that any sort of transaction or interaction is recorded on chain, but they're operating as an independent entity without obviously some as if it is lifelike and streamed real time. So there's huge amount of use cases there, particularly in like independent visual co-hosts, autonomous agents that pay for real-time video actions, conversational brand avatars, virtual tutors. That space is something that we're really excited about. So these were the 4 ecosystem opportunities, and if you're interested in building on any of these as a builder, please do reach out to us at the foundation. Reach out to me or anyone on the foundation team, as we are going to be funding initiatives in this area. Awesome. Next slide. So we're right, as I've said, we're right at the end of the advisory board process, and the Livepeer Foundation will be publishing 2 important documents next week. Firstly, this go-to-market strategy doc, which will be published and give an idea of the different opportunities within the Livepeer project from a go-to-market perspective. And then secondly, the final recommendations from the 4 different advisory boards: growth, network, governance, and markets, which will really create the boilerplate for what the Livepeer project is focusing on for the next 6 months with different groups. Awesome. I realize a bit over there. Thank you, Anne, for bearing with, and thank you for hosting.
You're totally fine. Thank you, Rich, for going over all of that. We did get one question. I'm quite into Livepeer and would like to know how to use Livepeer as a non-developer. I think Rich went over some pretty cool areas that you can explore. But of course, the first step is to join our server. It's discord.gg/Livepeer. Jump in there, and you'll get a lot of support and assistance in getting your journey started. We also have a delegator workshop later today. So if you're interested in becoming a delegator, you get some LPT to get your journey started, and that's another great way as a non-developer to support the network. All right, anything else, Rich, before we move on?
And a shout out to Daydream, which has a creative program as well, right? We can reverse roles on that.
All right, thank you so much, Rich.
Awesome. Thanks, Ed.
Alrighty, and I want to note that I'm on the governance advisory board, and that's been really fun, and we're coming to some great tactical solutions for the ecosystem. So super excited to eventually get into those, or to see those announced when Rich publishes that along the foundation. All right, welcome, Define. Are you with us?
Hello, guys. Hi, Anne. How are you doing?
Good, I'm doing well. I will let you take it away. So I'll drop off and yeah, enjoy.
Thank you very much. So today's presentation is about some tokenized agent initiatives that we're looking to launch, and basically all we're going to show you is the thinking that it has been done right now. This is an item on our roadmap which we're looking to present to you, gather feedback, and things may be looking differently from the initial draft that you see there. So I'm going to present to you, first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Define. I am engineer for the Agent SP, and I do lead open source development and some of the initiatives like the one that we are showing you here. So we want to present you a token that has the ability to provide governance for agents. But first of all, I'm gonna look at what the problem actually is. So next slide, please. And we have a very big problem in AI compute and some smaller problems. The biggest issue is that we do not have frameworks and networks where you can basically launch your agent, having provide work and be discoverable from other agents and interacting with them. This is not built in either on the big corporate side. It's not built on open source. What we have right now, it's frameworks that provide agentic compute, but that they do not interact with each other, and that basically limits the cognitive output by a very big margin. And the other issue is that compute is not exactly scarce, but it's very concentrated in places that they're not very easy to reach for a lot of developers, and it is offered without intent towards just the payment structures. And of course, you have also very centralized compute, which with the ethos of Web3 could lead to a lot of other issues, and there is also opportunity for changing that. So what is exactly the solution on this? How we can have open source agents that they're out in the blocks and they can have economic activity of any kind. They can be video agents or not video agents, and they could not be censored or changed or any of those issues. So we have a central token, which is called Embody from embodied agents. And we're doing a very limited allocation on that token. So it's not inflationary. You will see on the next slide exactly the allocation. Everything will just talk about its mechanics, but it can only use for governance to set the greatest direction for all the other agents that the network will produce. So just by owning that, you have a saying on exactly what you want the agents to do. Do you want them to do, for example, more on the public good side, or do you want them to have more corporate economic activity? You want them to be more lively in specific sector to allocate more resources there, maybe a subsector, etc., etc., or do you want them to operate in a different style? You can set direction. For all of that, imagine it as a global agent tongue prompt. And basically, you may see here some revenue emissions. That will not be the case because it will not be security. What actually is happening is that you can use the embodied token to select the agent that you want to bet on and have some extra rewards, which we will see in the next slides. So you can have agents provide any kind of activity, doing research, doing video streams, providing information, being games, trying to get rewards from there, and you can basically have a saying all of that. While in any case of revenue, that revenue goes back to the orchestrators creating the inverse flywheel, which we have explained on another Fireside. Next slide, please. So let's explain a bit more about the tokenomics model and why does incentivize the agent to cooperate themselves and on the other token participants to also cooperate with each other and with the network. So as we said, we have dual token structure. So we have the embody, which is the main one, and we have sub derivative tokens, which anyone can launch, and they are the agent tokens. So you can have a different token for a streamer agent, a different one for, let's say, a trader agent, or different kind of agents in different fields and subfields. This is the way for tokenizing agents. And what happens is that if you select to stack your MB behind that specific agent token, you will be rewarded with emissions from that particular token only. So it's a way of giving some liquidity to the agent while being able to accrue rewards, and it creates a lot of incentives for token holders to find the best, most performing agents, and also give us the ability to incentivize those agents, because the agents who are having the best MB backing, they can be selected from the treasury of the MB through governance to get more fund allocation so they can pursue their objectives. And so this is a high-level view of how it works. As I told you before, this is really primitive, so expect updates on it. And we will also show you on the roadmap when to expect this. So any kind, as I said before, emissions directly to holders language that you may see it's being reworked. It will not act as that. But as it's been done with them before the general direction, each agent token will give you the ability to specifically have governance for that agent. And this could include from high-level decisions to even lower-level decisions. Of course, this will pass from a filter from the agent, but for most of the things, the community will have the saying on what the agent's direction actually is, so it will be also decentralized. And of course, all of that will be, it's already running on Livepeer. We have the test pipeline, which we're first bringing the tech there, so that you see that AgentNet is working as actual tech product, because it becomes a token product. And that's a high level view of the tokenomics. So next slide, please. So again, the embody will have scarce supply. We're talking about 1 million token allocation, no inflation, and most of it we're looking to distribute it to orchestrators, so they will actually receive the greatest airdrop allocation. From that, you stake that to get your agent token, and we're also having, and then you're also having agent token distribution to the specific operator on which the agent token will be deployed. Next slide, please. So talking a bit about the allocation, most of it will go to the orchestrator. So 22 of the embodied supply will go directly to staking orchestrators only. So everyone who is an orchestrator and has staking rewards will take of that, and of course everyone who stakes with an orchestrator. How exactly will this play out? We're still in the making. We're looking to have 40% of that liquidity immediately available, 60% on the cliff. We have also a SAR airdrop, an incentives pool, which will help the agents to bootstrap revenue. Trading and liquidity for the pools, 10% for the team with 4 years cliff, 5% advisor. Excuse me. DAO Treasury 25%, strategic reserve 12%. None of what you see here is 100%. We're still working on that. Next slide, please. So as we explained previously about the agent token emissions, how exactly it's happening when an agent token will be created is that the orchestrator, which physically running on their node, the agent, will get an initial Genesis incentive to be incentivized to care for the agent and to continue to provide inference for the agent. And that's one part of the emissions. We have also liquidity and bootstrap, which is token allocated towards liquidity pool to bootstrap the ability to trade on DEXs. And we also want to have each agent token have their own treasury and governance fund. Now, we don't want to have many of them, so we will see how, if it is possible to centralize it with one, for example, embodied treasury, and not make it very complex wanted. But this is also some emissions. And then we have the task rewards emissions, which is emissions of embody to help the agent. But we're also looking on potentially having some emissions that are gradually unlocking of the agent token itself for the agent to use at its own convenience. So it could be used for any kind of market expenses from the agent because it's tradable. It can also be used from the agent to reward participants, to create its own incentive programs. So as you can think, this is very scalable, and having into account that the agents could be able to cooperate with each other also leaves a lot of room for opportunity. Next slide, please. So the roadmap is the initial tech release. So everything that we're able to do with what is being described on the tech side before any kind of token release. And we're looking to do that as soon as possible, and maximum have that till the second quarter of the second month of Q4, but we might have very rapid developments going there as well. Then on Q4, we're going to release the testnet and emulate activity, run, of course, testnet incentives for the future launch. So a very good opportunity for orchestrators and future token holders there, and move with token launch on quarter one, and then on quarter two of 2026 with agent launchpad to be able for anyone to launch their agents. On the initial launch, it will have some designated agentic tokens as well, but the launchpad will enable anyone to create their runs. Next slide, please. I hope that you guys liked it. This is a vision where you can have a fully collaborative agent economies where video agents and non-video agents can interact with each other, provide services to each other, be tokenized, be visible, and proceed in economic activity. If you have any feedback, feel free to get in touch through Discord, and we will keep you updated when the testnet is ready so that you can actually participate in the network building process. Thank you all.
I am so hyped about this. I, didn't know what you guys were presenting on today, and like, what a wonderful surprise. Are you feeling excited about all this?
Very much, yes.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So, of course, the Agent SP has been instrumental in a lot of the fees on network at this current point. Folks can, look at the Dune dashboard. Folks can jump in there, and it's been linked a number of times. So I really feel like this is a strong position for you guys to continue to grow as an organization and to continue to grow fees on network. So big round of applause.
Thank you so much.
Of course. All right. Well, Define, definitely excited to hear about more. If folks don't know, we have a water cooler every Monday. So I'm definitely curious to ask you some questions and get more of an understanding of the shape of how things are going to continue to develop. But until then, see ya.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Wow. I'm hyped. I see another project be launching within the Livepeer ecosystem is always a joy. So really excited for Embody. But last but not least, Nick, welcome from Harmonic.
Hey there. How you doing?
I'm hearing some feedback.
I was about to ask, how is the mic sounding? Decent?
I can hear myself.
Oh, I got you. Okay, cool.
No, I can hear my end.
Oh, okay. That shouldn't be possible, but let me try to adjust that.
Sorry about that.
How about now?
Testing. Yes. Oh, no, I can still hear me.
Okay. Maybe once you're muted, we'll be fine if it's just my microphone.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, let me just meet you quick while we're talking. Welcome. I'm excited to hear your updates from Harmonic SPE. I know there's been some major updates, so excited for you to take that away. All right, everyone, enjoy the show.
All right. Greetings, everyone. My name is Nick, and this is Harmonic SPE. For those unfamiliar, Harmonic is an ongoing initiative to integrate Livepeer powered video streaming into the Farcaster base and on-chain social ecosystems. And as we'll see in this update today, a key milestone of this SPE has been the development of a UFO mini app. I'm the founder of UFO, which is an open internet radio station, really kind of pioneering that as a thing. So a key milestone has been shipping this mini app, but the broader mission of the SPE is about stewarding Livepeer's presence in these emerging on-chain social and media ecosystems, with a focus on Farcaster and what has now emerged as the base app. So jumping in for updates of what's been happening lately since the last time I was on a Fireside. So some milestones that have been ticked off already. We've deployed the UFO mini app last week, a week ago today. So that mini app is now live on Farcaster and also on the base app. The first live stream was July 16 with a new day one, the launch from the base team themselves from LA, where they're actually launching the base app. So in a funny meta kind of way, we got live, streaming flawlessly on Livepeer into Farcaster and the base app as they were launching the base app live from stage. So great moment, and the mini app performed super well. Other things have been ticking off. We have marketing campaign activated with Livepeer and in collaboration with Base, Farcaster, Privy, and other partners as well. We are focusing on activating creators for an adoption flywheel of creators, say artists, DJs, labels, podcasters, live streamers, all this type of thing, getting that activity happening on Livepeer. And also over the last couple of months, in collaboration with Daydream and Refraction, there was a activation and event during FarCon NYC in which we were live streaming from a club in Brooklyn while using Daydream, which was a really interesting experiment. And then there was another event during Berlin Blockchain Week in which, again, we teamed up with Daydream and Refraction and live streaming DJ sets from a live party to the radio. So it's a really neat experimental thing that also worked really well. And you can check out those broadcasts are still up on the UFO site, ufo.fm. You can check that out on the Refraction channel. We'll jump to the next slide. So here's a quick look at the mini app, or a sort of a view of the mini app, such as I can represent here. So you can see the base live stream was happening here. We're getting really positive feedback. All this stuff was kind of predicted. We could kind of see what would work really well for an internet radio station that was native and in a mini app in the Farcaster and base type ecosystems, because users can be there on desktop, for example, and the mini app will pop up on the side of screen. They can keep doing what they're doing on social, doing whatever, doing their Farcaster type stuff, and a live stream can be happening. So you can see that into the mini app, we've integrated Livepeer streaming. We've also integrated Farcaster through tooling called Naynar, which allows us to do interesting stuff with data. As you can see in that second little phone there, you've got a bunch of Farcaster profiles that are linked because they've been guests on a particular podcast channel. So here we're starting to integrate the social layer into the radio. And part of the magic of that is that the users and members of the UFO community can kind of see themselves being reflected back from the radio itself. I feel like this is sort of an understated win, but something pretty magic. So when you're in the mini app, and I can go and I can see who is live on this stream right now, and I can click on their profile and it'll open on Firecaster while I still have the radio open. And you can imagine the future of this where you're starting to bring in more kind of, say, token layers or tipping type things. Maybe you want to tip a DJ live, and the whole social layer is integrated in, which is really, really cool. And then we can see on the right there, that was from the Refraction and Daydream stream from Berlin that can kind of come through. Let's jump to the next slide. So yeah, here we see the base live stream event, just to give a sense of what the radio looks like on desktop. I think this stuff is super cool because we think of radio as being audio only or audio forward, right? And as a longtime radio person myself, there's outlets like NTS radio and stuff which are mostly audio only, right? That's a lot of what it is. There's some other radios that are lean more into video, like the Lot Radio, who also stream on Livepeer and things like this. But what is very rare to see is a sort of a global network that's also doing video and then also bringing it into these social ecosystems and mobile, which is super magic. Let's jump to the next slide. Okay, so some quick looking at the data. We launched just under a week ago. So this is sort of early, but I feel like it's sort of giving some positive signs early. So yeah, a bit over 1,000 visitors to the app so far. 5,600 or so page views is probably more by now since the slides from earlier. But we've also integrated Privy into this stack. For those unfamiliar, Privy they can make like smart wallets and things like this. So we're using it for the profile layer so that, for one thing, so over 96% of accounts created so far have a Farcaster ID and wallet attached to them. So obviously there's a really major uptake from Farcaster users and base app users opening the mini app and getting started with it. But what's amazing about that is that we're able to link it with Naynar as a data layer on Farcaster so that you can send notifications in the app. So we can notify people on social when a live stream is happening or when it starts from Livepeer. So the idea with that is you can start to get a bit of a virtuous cycle and behavior happening, and that live streams become a moment on the timeline, and that a lot of the chat and things that will be happening will happen beyond the UFO app. It'll happen on Farcaster or base app outside of the radio itself. And so this is how we kind of have open internet native radio. Something that we also saw in the back end is substantial adoption in this first week by the sort of OG Farcaster users who've been here since a few years ago and things like that. So that's been great to see people taking that up, founders from really major projects and all that type of thing. So for Harmonic SPE, aiming to be about, partnerships and ecosystem development for Livepeer, seeing everybody picking up this app and checking it out and seeing what Livepeer can do can only be a positive thing. And just, as the meme goes, like there will be signs. UFO popped up to like number one on the base app for music mini apps. So it's like a nice early sign of what's happening. Shout out to Builders Garden, who were the team of developers that we shipped the mini app with. We worked super fast, and we've shipped something really great. You can scan that QR code to find. It's only going to take you to UFO.fm. And let's jump to the last slide. So what's coming up next? Continuing to execute on the go-to-market and adoption campaign that's fully underway now in collaboration with Livepeer and the Foundation, Base, Farcaster, Privy, and the various UFO channels, who are many, culture organizations, labels, crews like Refraction and stuff like that, who are well known in the Livepeer ecosystem. So that's fully happening. With that Privy integration as well, people can claim unique ID numbers. So we're looking to use that as a bit of an adoption motivation for people wanting to show that they were early forever. It feels like the ID thing is a helpful meta in all this. So it's it's social thinking and culture all the way down. And the other phase that we're focusing on here is documentation and ecosystem expansion. So publishing the technical documentation for the video playback that's now enabled in Frames v2, otherwise known as mini apps now, across on Firecaster and in the base app. The SPE is also here to support additional teams to launch their own mini apps, bringing in Livepeer streaming. Shout out to Retake as well, doing great stuff on Firecaster. And we're also here to assess expansion with Base and Firecaster and capitalizing on the momentum that's already here and seeking to grow it as fast as we can. And then also exploring the idea of entering further social ecosystems that are present sort of in this stack in interconnected web, such as Lens or Luxo, Rodeo, Zora, all those sorts of things. So what might be some interesting other ecosystems for Livepeer to verge into? So yeah, that's pretty much the wrap. So if you're on Firecaster or if you have early access to Base App, come check out the mini app and we'll be here.
Amazing. So I'm just going to mute you while I'm talking, so no feedback. But yeah, amazing. I feel like we've had so many amazing accomplishments in today's Fireside. So congratulations on the launch, and that early adoption is super strong. So excited to see how it continues to go. Any last comments before we drop you off stage?
No, all good. I'll see you all in the regular upcoming times in the Discord and so on. But anyone, feel free to DM me if you're curious about what's going on here with the mini app stuff, but also what we're observing out here in the sort of Firecaster and Base ecosystems in relation to Livepeer. And just huge shout out to everybody and the foundation, all the work that's being done.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Nick. Have a good rest of your day. All right, folks, this brings us to the end of Fireside. Thank you, if you made it the whole way, for joining us. Of course, as you saw, there's a ton of things going on, a ton of opportunities to tap in with the various SPs that presented today, as well with the goals being created by the advisory boards through Foundation. So definitely it's the best time at Livepeer to join our community and start to understand what opportunities and where you can tap in and help continue to grow the ecosystem. Last comment for me is I've been thinking of this concept called the productization of Livepeer's network. And I really think today is a good case study of that starting to happen. You have a bunch of these products coming out that, of course, are being built on Livepeer's technical stack, but are getting lives of their own. That could be seen by Embody launching, as well as UFO app launching on Firecaster. They are still driving fees to Livepeer's network, and people might not know that explicitly, but that's not necessarily what's critical here. What's critical here is that we're driving fees to the network and continue to expand the ecosystem and getting new people in the community to generate new ideas for different PMFs of the Livepeer network, and then seeing those expand out and get lives of their own, and that process can continue, and we will continue to find success together as a network. So super exciting time for Livepeer, and super thankful for everyone who's stayed, who's listened, who's watched, who's contributed, who's delegated. And finally, we have a delegation workshop in 1 hour. So please jump in to there. You can still RSVP the delegate workshop. Oh, sorry, it's in 30 minutes. The delegate workshop's in 30 minutes. So feel free to either go to our Instagram, using our Twitter or our Discord, and you can RSVP. Again, you get $10 in LPT to get your delegator journey started. So if you watch this, think Livepeer is super cool, want to get your toes wet, as somebody commented earlier today, Jeremiah, this is a great way as a non-technical person to understand Livepeer, and I will be hosting the workshop and educating on what Livepeer does and where we're going. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and hope to see a lot of people in the delegate workshop. Until next time, bye y'all. you.